What's going on, guys? Dr. Typo here, playing some Grand Theft Auto Online. So, patch 1.11 came out, and just like patch 1.10, it has a load of fixes. And this is exactly what I like to see in patch notes. I don't like patch notes like 1.09, where you get next to nothing, and it's pretty much just like, sit and spin, here's your patch notes, lol. No, I don't like that one bit, but I do like patches like 1.11, which are very big, have a lot of fixes in them, and a whole bunch of technical mumbo jumbo that perhaps you nor I can even understand, but it's still written there for me to look at. That gives me a little bit of security, I suppose, when I get to read patch notes that are very, very long. Not to say that these patch notes are necessarily very long, however, there is quite a few fixes here, so I'm just going to kind of, go over some of the ones that actually matter, some of the bigger fixes that they went ahead and announced. And of course, if you're into it, I suppose I can go ahead and read the rest of them too, but we'll get into the big ones first. So, new clothing items have been added to stores. That's obviously with the business update, if you haven't noticed. New tattoos have also been added, along with 4 new hairstyles, new masks, some new tire smoke colors, 4 new vehicles, that's 3 cars and a plane, 2 new weapons, which would be the heavy pistol and the special carbine. They also went ahead and they added 3 new celebrations to online. If you don't know what a celebration is, that's your little winning move that you'll do, or it's your action that you can do if you hit both of the thumbsticks in. But they added a couple new ones to that. It's called Dock, Knuckle Crunch, and Air Thrusting. Now, I personally have not done any one of them except for the air thrusting, and that's kind of a given on, what it is. The other ones, though, I'm going to have to see what they are because I am kind of curious. Players who are not the host of jobs can now see the View Joined Players info option while on the settings screen. This is so everybody can now see, how good or bad someone is, and if they don't like you or if you don't like them, now they can mute you without having to actually, go into the Xbox settings or the PlayStation settings and finding your name in their recent players list. They fixed an issue where players were unable to claim vehicles after being destroyed in the impound lot. Now, I personally haven't had this issue, but I'm going to assume that other players have, seeing as there's a fix for it. They also fixed an issue in story mode where a Titan would blow up when stored in a hangar. And haven't done a whole lot of story mode, definitely not much with the vehicles in it anyways. All I really do is play online. Don't get me wrong, I have beat the game, but, I don't really do a whole lot in story mode, so I had no idea that Titans were blowing up in hangars. They also fixed an exploit where players were able to give their vehicles nitrous boosts, so if you've heard about this and you haven't done it, then your option, or your window anyways, has, it's closed. There's no more nitrous boosts for you. And if you already had a nitrous boost, well, that's too bad, because Rockstar went ahead and they just took it away. So that option is no longer available to anyone, but hopefully it's something that they plan to put into the game in the future, seeing as a lot of players who used it, obviously liked it. I don't know why Rockstar, hasn't put the nitrous boost in here, because they were in San Andreas, they've been in other Grand Theft Auto games. It just doesn't make any sense to me. And now, if you have ranked a character all the way up to rank 20 or higher, whenever you make a new character, you will now be given the option to just skip the tutorial. It sure would have been nice to do this, just all together back when the game first launched and there was a crap load of players just stuck in the tutorial. And probably in lieu of the recent success of the relaunch of the Rat Loader, Rockstar went ahead and made it so that you can now store a bunch of the vehicles that they had taken away from you back in your garage. So you'll be able to store the Clean Karen Rebel, the Beater Albany Emperor, the Bravado Bison versions, the Bravado Rumpo, the Vapid Speedo, and the Canis Seminole. All those cars that were taken away from you can now be put right back in your garage. Doesn't that make you happy? It makes me happy. I'm glad that they're doing stuff like this, and they're actually listening to the players instead of whatever the hell it is they've been doing all along. You can now activate matchmaking in the mini games, arm wrestling and whatnot, so now it might not be as hard to find somebody to arm wrestle with you, but it's probably still going to be just as hard to find somebody to arm wrestle with you. You now have the option to turn off slipstreaming in races, so if you don't like drafting, then you can turn that off, but honestly, you should probably just turn catch-up off, because, I don't know, I think the slipstreaming, you know, makes it a little bit better, just in my opinion. You can kind of have a little bit of shake and bake going on for the whole race. Speaking of catch-up, they now have it turned off when there was only one checkpoint remaining in a race. So that'll help kind of finalize your positions, and you know, you won't stand much of a chance coming from last going to first when there's only one checkpoint left. Not like you did it to begin with, but you kind of get the idea. They also added a bunch of options to the quick GPS menu, and to me, you know, it's very handy. They actually changed home will now display your address instead. I thought that was kind of nifty, but you know, that's just me. That pretty much does it for all of the major fixes. I went ahead and I put a link in the description below if you guys want to go and read about all the other ones. And I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Take two and call me in the morning.